you thought of last night's scrimmage?
I thought we did some good things. Definitely some things we got to keep working on. I think the main thing is we just got to be more consistent as offense. We saw some things where, we were really explosive on some drives, ending drives and touchdowns, and then you saw some drives where, we were turning the ball over or going 3 and out. So some good things, but some definitely things we got to work on.
Now, you speak about the working on things, but what about some of these newcomers you got, whether it be transfers or whatever? What should people expect from them?
Which ones?
Well, on your offensive side of football, like Jeffrey Pittman and guys like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially like you said in the running back room, definitely some new faces. I think Pittman, I think Key, both of those backs have done a really good job in the backfield for us. So, they're running the ball really hard. Offensive line's doing a great job coming off the ball. So, the biggest thing for us in the run game and as offensive goal is just finish the plays and ultimately finish drives with touchdowns.
How much has it helped you in the transition of this offense to have, offensive linemen you've played with before, to have a guy like Woody in the backfield who you've played with before?
No, I mean, it's huge. Just not only Woody, but, offensive linemen, several receivers that are back as well. We're a group that's been together for 3.5 years now. So, I think anytime you can have a veteran group like we have on both sides of the ball, I think you're going to have a chance to be pretty good.
You spent a couple of years taking snaps from the Quinston and Cole. Now it's moved over to that position. How are y'all developing your chemistry? Because center and quarterback have to have it together.
Yeah, no, we had it in 2020 because he was the center in 2020, and I started the last 6 games. So we've been in this position before, but he and I have a great relationship. Kind of think alike and kind of act alike to an extent. So he's doing a great job for us. He's really the leader up front vocally. So he's doing a good job.
You may have already answered this. Sorry if you have, but Mike Wright looks like a lot different with his accuracy and throwing in camp than what we saw in spring. You seen the same?
Yeah, no, he's done a good job. He's had a really good camp, and he's definitely progressed as a thrower for sure.
Creed Whitmore is a guy that already kind of becoming a fan favorite. It was pretty smart of him to get jersey number 85, considering your former roommate. So, kind of take us through that. And I know in times of crisis, sometimes you look for 85. So, perhaps you'll be looking for him.
Yeah, no, I mean Creed's got a little different gear that you don't see out of a lot of slot receivers. He can really run and he's really twitchy. So, obviously the number thing is kind of a weird coincidence, I guess. But Creed's got a definitely bright future. He needs to keep working.
Obviously, it's a different offense for y'all, but when you are running, primarily out of shotgun, does that make that transition a little easier?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of similar. So we're doing some different things like pistol wise and. Definitely have some things under center that we're going to do when we get inside the 20. But it's pretty simple.
We didn't get to see much of Xavion last year, receiver. Obviously, got to see what he did at punt returner, but he seems pretty consistent so far in camp.
Yeah, no, he just needs to keep going. Obviously he's able to do. Sky's the limit for Xavion. I hadn't seen anything like that since I've been here, besides maybe Tulu, but. He and Tulu are very similar when they get the ball in their hands. But the biggest thing for Xavion, he needs to keep going. He doesn't need to hit that wall where, he might get hot, he might get tired, or he just needs to keep pushing because, he could be the best player on the field every time he steps out there if he wants to.
What's your reaction to Dollar Bill? Say you could be a Heisman candidate. I guess what's it mean to have teammates that think that highly of you?
No, it's awesome. Especially offensive linemen. Those are my guys. Those guys sacrifice themselves for me every Saturday. Break knuckles, break thumbs, whatever it may be. So, you definitely want to be close with your offensive lineman, and especially a guy like Dollar Bill.
Watching Jaden out there, it seems like he's ready to take that next step at wide receiver, the way he's raised his game. It's
Wally. Yeah. No, he's done a good job. Obviously he's been moving outside, and I wouldn't be surprised if we moved him around a little bit offensively. But, he's kind of accepted that challenge. He's done a really good job just learning the offense and learning these new concepts.
Speaking of learning, when you have a minute or two, what do you tell Chris now that he's in his first freshman fall and now he's full of health and he can start doing this? Here's how you learn. Here's how you advance as a college quarterback.
Yeah, no, I think he's done a great job. Kind of learning the playbook and asking me some questions about things and what are you looking for on this play. But the biggest thing I tell him is that you're just gonna have to learn for yourself. I can't help you when you're out there and you're getting zero blitz. That's something you're just gonna have to learn how to get out of and learn how to get through. And I tell him I kind of had to learn the hard way my freshman year. So the more reps you can get and the more experience you can get out there on the practice field versus a really tough defense like ours, the better you'll be on Saturday.
Would you kind of how you're handling having tight ends on the field now? I know it's kind of a new concept for you, maybe a weapon for you. How do you kind of see that?
No, I love it. I think that tight end is very essential for any offense. I mean, you look in the NFL and there's 2, 3 tight. Every other player says so. I think it's really good for us. I think our tight ends have done a great job. I think our coaches have done a great job kind of implementing some schemes and route concepts to get tight ends the ball as well as blocking schemes. So they've done a really good job.
Appreciate it, Will.
Thank you guys.